All right, y'all, let's go ahead and make some loaded potato skins. So the star of the show is, of course, potatoes. These may look bigger than what they are on camera, but I'll hold one for you. It fits in my hand perfectly. Like, it's not even fitting in my entire hand. So you want to find the smallest potatoes as possible because, of course, these are finger foods. You don't want like a huge potato. You're going to need a scallion or some scallions, green onions, whatever you like to call it. Some bacon, you can use turkey or pork. Some shredded cheese, we're going to shred it ourselves because it melts better. Black pepper, I'm using a master blend. It has garlic, sea salt, and butter, and some white truffle oil. That is the only thing you guys need, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and wash our potatoes. So that's pretty easy. I am going to use my handy potato washer. I got this a long time ago. I think from like Marshall's, Ross, TJ Maxx, something like that. So I'm just going to rinse these potatoes, scrub them a little bit, and then we'll be back to talk about our next step. Alright, so my potatoes are all rinsed. I cleaned them, scrubbed them. I did pat them dry a little bit. I have a baking sheet with tin foil and parchment paper, just good for easy cleanup. So what I'm going to do right now is take some of my olive oil and I'm just going to drizzle it on top of the potatoes like so. I'm going to massage it into each potato, making sure that the entire thing is covered. That doesn't take long. Now that we have our potatoes oiled, I am going to sprinkle some salt. It doesn't matter if you do a lot or a little, because honestly, it's going to, some of it is going to cook off, because once we actually have our potatoes finished in the oven, we're gonna fry them. A lot of people do not do this step. That's why my potato skins are the best. So I have each side lubricated and salted. I'm just going to now transfer them over to my baking dish. And I'm going to try to lay them as flat as possible. Just making sure I get as much as possible, as much space as possible. So I've already had my oven preheating to 375. I'm going to pop these in the oven for about 45 minutes. They're not too big, so it doesn't take that long. It might be even shorter, but for right now, it's going to be 45 minutes. And then we're going to start working on shredding our cheese, cooking our bacon, and cutting up our scallions. So I will be right back. All right, so now I'm back. I have placed the potatoes in the oven. I am going to start cutting up my scallions. I use kitchen shears to do this. I feel like kitchen shears is the easiest way. I work smarter, not harder, so that's the reason why I do half of the things that I do. Some people use a knife to do this, but I just figure why, when you could just use a pair of scissors and actually cut it up a little bit faster. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and get started on grating our cheese. I have my cheese of choice. I am using medium, well, sharp cheddar. And I'm not going to use all of this, but because I'm already grating it, I might as well grate the whole block. My grater just happens to have a bottom to it, so once I grate, it literally just falls to the bottom. If you don't have one of these, you should get one. Although I might invest in these new graters that it allows you to kind of do this. It's basically like you're just winding it around and then the cheese just comes out. It's so cool. I've seen a couple on Amazon, so I might go ahead and just invest in that. And the whole reason why I have a glove on is because I hate touching cheese. And when you grate your own cheese, guys, it's very sticky because it doesn't have that starch on top of it that they put in already shredded cheese. That has a coating on top so that the cheese doesn't stick together. That's why I like grating my own cheese. And I encourage anybody. Grating cheese is the most tedious task and most people don't like it, but I'm telling you, it'll elevate your food. You could just taste the difference in cheese that you grate yourself as opposed to cheese that you actually buy. Which is why I'm telling you guys, y'all better learn how to grate your own cheese. But yeah, let me go ahead and get this finished, and I promise y'all, I'm not leaving. I'll be right back. All right, we've finished shredding our cheese. Now we're gonna move over to our bacon. I'm using thick cut. Y'all, with all my recipes, go ahead and just modify it to your dietary needs. You do not have to do what I do. You know, it's not that serious. If you want to use turkey bacon, if you don't want to use bacon at all, toss some chicken on top, toss some shrimp on top. Everything is versatile. So what I'm gonna do is chop up my bacon, because we need bacon bits. So I'm just cutting it to my liking, because we are gonna cook it, and once we cook it, it's gonna cook down just a little bit. It's gonna create an even smaller piece. That's why I don't make them too small, because it's like they shrink. Just like when you cook regular bacon, it shrinks. So I'm gonna continue to chop up my pieces of bacon, and then I will see you guys at the stove. Okay, y'all, we are at the stove. I got my bacon chopped, ready to go. Just gonna plop that right in the skillet. I have my skillet on medium heat. The reason being is because when you're trying to make bacon bits, you want to cook it low and slow, ensuring that it does not burn. So it takes about, takes about 7 to 8 minutes to actually cook this like this, because as you can see, I did not add it to a hot pan. I added to a cool pan, and like I said, I have it on medium heat. So we're just gonna let this cook up, and it'll be cooking low and slow. Like I said, once we're done, you will see the finished product. Let's go. Okay, this is what the bacon looks like when it's halfway done. We probably got about 2 to 3 more minutes on it. Doesn't take that long, but like I said, I'm cooking it at a medium heat. It can actually go a little slower, but I'm okay with how it's turning out. I still have some lighter pieces in here. I'm waiting on those to brown, and then once those brown completely, I'm gonna remove it and drain it on a piece of paper towel. And then we're just waiting on our potatoes. We have about 11 more minutes for that to finish. All right, so the potatoes are done. I had them cooling for about 15 minutes, just because when I touch them, I don't really want to be like, I ain't want to do all of that. So right now, all I'm gonna do is just slice them in half. They've been sitting here for about 15 minutes, but y'all, they are still hot at the touch. See? I don't know if you can see that steam coming out, but they're still hot. But I'm just going in carefully, slicing it in half, try to make it as even as possible. I know that I'm not going to get all of them as even, but I just want to make sure that I'm doing the best I can. I'm only human, guys. Gosh. Now what we're going to do is, we have a bowl to the side. I'm going to move these potatoes over. We are going to take out the inside, but when you do it very carefully. You're not scooping the entire inside out. You want to leave about 1 inch. I'll show you once I finish this one, because you still want the potato skin to be intact, because you don't want it to fall apart. So let me finish scraping this out and I'll show you what I mean. All right, so as you can see, I still have some potato left in. It's just to give this part at the back a base. So I have about 1 inch left in there. So we're gonna do all of our potatoes like that. Okay, so I've scooped out all of the potatoes. This is the filling I'm left with. I want my filling to kind of be chunky. I don't want it to be like mashed potatoes. That's disgusting. So I'm just making sure I am just beating it down just a little bit, but still allowing it to be chunky. And so what we're gonna do is add some white truffle oil. This is the main ingredient for it to taste good to me, because truffle oil gives all potatoes some different taste. If you've ever been to a restaurant and you've ordered truffle fries, which usually comes with parsley, Parmesan cheese, salt and pepper. That's what you usually get in truffle fries. But it's a distinct taste and smell that you will always get whenever ordering truffle fries. it's the truffle oil. That's what it is. That's why you have that distinct taste. So this is what elevates my potato wedges. I'm out of it right now. I actually got another bottle, but this is all you need. So I just sprinkled, you know, the rest of that bottle in there. Now I'm just gonna add some pepper, because we're seasoning our filling so that when a person bites into it, ooh, it just tastes so good. Going in with this, you can find this in the grocery store, but mostly at Sam's and Costco. You can get it as well. But I'm going in, let me shake it up a little bit, because it's kind of stuck because I use it so much. But when I use it over like the stove, so some of the moisture gets inside of it. But anyways, I'm sprinkling some of that in there. You don't need any salt. This has enough salt in it. You don't need any garlic powder because it has garlic powder as well in it. And guess what? It has butter chunks as well. So that's the reason why you don't see me putting any butter in it, or because it'll melt inside and then it'll become a little bit buttery. But yeah, this is the only seasoning you need for the inside. So now that I have that mixed, I am going to meet you over to the stove. All right, y'all, we have made it to the stove. I have a pot full of vegetable oil. I have my heat on medium high. I have my potato skins over here to the side. I have scooped everything out of them. Let's see if it'll focus for you all. There you go. Scooped everything out of them. All I'm gonna do is just drop them in the grease. We're gonna let these fry up for about 2 minutes. And what this does, it just creates a harder, firmer texture on the bottom of the potato skins. All right, y'all, I have fried my potatoes. I have them ready. Y'all, they can't even hear it. They crispy. That's how you want it. So what I'm gonna do is that filling that we seasoned, I'm gonna try to evenly distribute it. But let's face it, even when we be making, oh, I'm sorry, you know what? No, scratch that. We're not gonna do that yet. I keep forgetting. We're gonna start with our cheese. I do like to put some cheese at the bottom because we're gonna put it at the bottom and top. Cheese is life. Bar food and game day food, y'all, we ain't trying to eat healthy. I mean, I guess I could have did some keto versions. So I'm going to start by putting in some of the filling. And as I was going to say, I don't know about y'all, but when I make devil eggs or when I do this recipe, I don't always get it right when it comes to the filling. Sometimes some got more than the other, and there's other times when it's perfect. So we'll see how this comes out. So let me finish filling up the potatoes. Then we're gonna add our toppings. We're gonna toss this in the oven, and literally, guys, we're gonna be done. So this is the best homemade version. Like I told you guys, your guests are going to love this. I like this better than any restaurant I went to grab some of these. It just tastes good. So I hope this helps you out. It's easy. Potatoes are cheap. The cheese, I live in Texas, so dairy and any grocery products for that reason is always. Okay, y'all. The battery died right in the middle of me talking, so I apologize ahead of time. But what I did was super simple, and I'm sure you guys know the steps. I went ahead and added in the filling. That's where I left off at. I added some cheese, the bacon, and the scallions, literally in that order: cheese, bacon, and scallions. So I've done all of those. I have the oven already preheated to 350. I'm going to pop these in there for about 10 minutes. And literally once they come out, we will be done. So I will show you the finished product. I have removed my potato skins from the oven. I'm going to pair it with some sour cream. A lot of people like sour cream or ranch, but do as you choose. I have plated it, ready to go for my guests. Let's get into it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And bon appetit.